Hello and welcome to another edition of HR Hub. Today I am joined by Selina Birchall, the head of HR for the Laundy Group, one of Australia's largest hospitality organisations. Today, Selina and I will dissect the last 12 to 18 months, a time that will go down as probably one of the most challenging times for her industry. Selina and I catch up regularly and I've been amazed at how she has remained positive regardless of the challenge she had in front of her. Welcome, Selina, and I will start with, how are you?
Hi, Joel. I'm well, thank you.
How have you remained positive through one of the most challenging periods faced by your industry?
Well, let's just start with it's been very tough. However, what I would say is that I'm surrounded by some really great people that help weather the storm through all those challenges. And I think it's the fact that there's so much opportunity still within the industry, and that's exciting. So it balances out the real struggles that we're having within our industry right now. I'm really lucky in the last, let's say 6 months or so, even longer. I've been able to build some brand new teams from the ground up within some of our pubs, and that's been a really fun experience, getting to know people and spending some time building those relationships and then seeing them fall into the pub workplace in the different working environments. It's been really exciting. So that's, I guess, been very helpful, trying to balance out the challenges of the struggles we have also in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So find the excitement, find the joy in the challenges, it sounds
Absolutely.
like.
Yeah.
And surround yourself with good people. It sounds like you've got a good team.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Very lucky.
Awesome. What about the culture internally? How have you maintained that, kept it positive through what's been hard for not just you and your direct team, but obviously the entire organisation?
I think COVID has absolutely shown us that through all of the adversity, we can still come back, bring people back to what we would call, for a lot of people, their home, their second home, the pub. And so I think the team has been behind trying to ensure that people who walk through our doors are really excited to be back in a pub and socialising. I think the people aspect, our own teams, for me, it's been about listening, truly listening to them and showing that we're really grateful that they've stayed within the industry through all of the difficult times, like complete shutdowns, and that they're not alone. We're all in it together. There's been a lot of pressure on them to work probably more hours than what they should, purely because of staff shortages. So I think for me, the key has been showing that I might be sitting at a desk and they might be in the pub, but we're supporting each other, and I am really listening to all of their ups and downs, so they've got an ear, and it's not being unnoticed. So they've felt the appreciation, and that's fostered this great positive working culture.
Awesome. I speak to a lot of people, and I know firsthand there's not many people getting that ear that you provide the team out there. It's a real challenge. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
In terms of recruitment, obviously that's a challenge I'm seeing everywhere, but probably none more difficult than your sector. Have you had to adopt initiatives to attract talent? And if so, what have you done?
Yeah. What's happened really is people moving away from hospitality. Now that we've learnt flexibility, working from home, when you work in a pub, you're not working from home. There isn't as much flexibility because we are 7-day week venues, so that is extremely challenging. You can't run a pub from your lounge room. So we have lost a lot of talent who have found a 38-hour week much easier to deal with and also be remunerated for. So we've had to look at, well, how do we firstly attract people and then ensure that they stay with us? A lot of it has been changing the narrative around it's just a job to creating a career in hospitality. It's in a business like ours with 37 plus properties, you have the opportunity to start in what we would call a position on the floor to a general manager position in a pub, and then you could even move to a group role. So educating and changing the narrative around what we have to offer. And it's also about how we're reaching our communities, either through local social media. We've even gone to TV to talk about opening new venues and what that does for employment. And we've done a lot of partnering with local job providers as well, who, again, there are so many people who want to work. It's just how do they get their first step rather than just going through an advertisement. They're actually bringing their people in through the networks. And the other thing that's been quite successful for us is recruitment days, celebrating and having that first experience of what it's like to work for a Laundy venue. And then we get people en masse and they get very excited, and we again get to learn a little bit about them as a prospective employee. So they're the sort of new initiatives, if you like, that's not just going straight out to an ad for recruiting of our staff.
Yeah. I mentioned in the opening, I tell you all the time, how do you do it? Your resilience, it always impresses me. But is there a secret to how you remain focused on the vision, on the end goal, when it can seem unattainable at times?
No, not a secret. I think it's this is a very difficult job, but it's also extremely rewarding. I work in a business that's 7 days a week, so I am on a lot. However, what I do know is I understand my own boundaries, most of the time anyway. I do know what helps me bring my whole self to work, and a lot of that is my work is important to me, but exercising outside of work to try and I guess reset my focus, and so it's not always on work. And then absolutely family time is so important. That brings you back down to reality when you get caught up in managing a workforce of 1,300 plus staff. So I think it's just many years of experience and some really hard lessons learnt when I was very young in my HR career that I have not forgotten. And that's really helped me build my resilience. There are absolutely times that resilience is at a zero level, but it doesn't take much for me to notice that and then actively change that. So no secrets, just work hard at it, really.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like there are a couple of secrets in there. I think, if you keep a balance, you touched on exercise, family, no matter how much pressure you might be under work, if you've got those outlets, they probably go a long way to putting on this calm face that you do, Selina, where everything's under control.
Sometimes that's not very calm.
Oh, very good. And what can you see the light at the end of the tunnel with borders opening and for your world in particular with hospitality? Is it within reach?
actually, I was hoping that it'd be better than where we are right now. We have migration agents who work with us to help us with our staff shortages around chefs and cooks, and unfortunately, it's extremely difficult to get through the paperwork to bring international labour into Australia at the moment. It is it's far more challenging than we thought it would be. So that's extremely slow. We've been working on some things now for 12 months and we're still not seeing,
Wow.
still not seeing the people coming in. And the travelling market, absolutely, again, not. If I took our pub at Woolloomooloo Bay, which generally is a travellers pub for us, we have less than a handful, which is extremely difficult for us because that pub is traditionally reliant on travelling. It's the location, it's they're happy to get in, have a great time, and then go and explore and come back, but we don't have that. So so the light is very dim still.
Right.
And it's a bit scary because we start to ramp up into our busy season with spring just around the corner, and then summer and opening yet another venue. So it is a little bit scary. I guess that just pushes us to rethink again, how do we attract more people to hospitality to ensure, you know, ultimately everybody who does come to our venue gets a great experience, but can't do that without people.
That's the heartbeat of the industry. So
It is.
very similar to recruitment in that sense. But well, Selina, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your world and your story. It's certainly impressed me, and I'm sure it will impress plenty of our listeners. But thank you again, and all the best with the ride ahead.